This poem is called Insurrection and Resurrection. It concerns an old man who immigrated to America after World War II and whose memories are about partisan battle against the Germans in the Balkans in the 1940s. He now lives in California, and he's at the racetrack for the day because he loves horses. In the shoulders and haunches of horses, there's meat. And an autumn without meat justifies the pistol that made the mare's ear flick. The young man who was the boy the mare carried. High summer forests. They made charcoal and rocky and carved Madonnas to barter for sacks of coffee and bandoliers of bullets. The young man whispered, "Remember?" Then fired and backed away from the black scarves and skirts with skinning knives toward the fire where a glass of white heat was his reward. "Listen to the flames," said a toothless beard who lit his cigarette. "You can hear her gallop away." He put head between knees to erase the hoofbeat. Behind him, the women's voices rose, and men recited the ragged annals of invasion. Mongol, Turk, Habsburg, Nazi. They name heads on pikes, number all doused with oil, and set afire to run back to the forest where women hid children. Always the stories come back to one man, one rifle, one bullet, the dead rising up to win back forest and hill, horse pasture and springs, to prepare the choral moment when winter dictates they kill their last horse once more. How strange to survive beneath the palms of California, in linen and fedora, among betters who never saw a man felled into a shallow grave, much less eat the soul who carried him, boy and man, from forest to market, where so many were beheaded or shot, it was impossible they lived long enough to coax cheese from cream or grind beans for coffee. Here, it's the seventh race at Del Mar. The form in his lap guarantees someone's happiness against odds. Here, he bets and sometimes wins. Here the hooves pound the message that horses at last have command of the earth, and their pleasure carries men in a circle dance until men see the earth is a pasture without barbed wire. He closes eyes to grandstand shouts and ticket confetti. The dry air concentrates a liquor. He tips his head back to receive in a snore, while losers shuffle past to execute their dreams in roadside taverns. His hat falls behind the seat. Lost bets, crushed cups, and a hand shakes him. "Sir, you can't stay here. Go home." He stoops into the taxi's cushioned dark to be sped to a room where a glass of white fire sits on the bedside table like a boy in saddle. In its depths, the keening of women is transmuted. Black trains in the night, trumpeting at intersections more and more distant. On the blind muscle of his bed, he lies back, trusting its sense of direction. No rider, no horse. Just this rhythm bearing him into the forest on fire. Say no to war.